Hey guys, here to review Whoretopsy's debut album, They Did Unspeakable Things. Now this band is a 5-piece slam death metal band from Australia. And vocals. Vocals on this album are all over the place, and I mean that in the literal meaning. Not only does he have these deep, guttural, just vocals that are just deep, nasty, and liquidy, he also does high screams in the middle, he has pig squeals, he has average lows, he has average gutturals, he has the guttural mixed with the low. I mean, the vocalist on this album is all over the place, and he's just really talented. He's really good at what he does. I respect him 100% as a vocalist myself. You know, he's the place where a lot of vocalists want to be right now. He's got a great voice, great death metal scream, and just guttural sound absolutely amazing. Vocals on this album, thumbs up. And that's all I can say. You know, they're brutal and they're great. Alright, instrumentals. Instrumentals on this album, punishing. That's the best word I can use for it, and it's just the way I can describe it in one word. They're punishing, they're unrelenting, they're guttural, they're slams. I mean, the whole 9 yards of the instrumentals, they're great. When the first track starts out, after a little clip of the sounds and noises, they hit you with a punch. Not only does the vocals hit you with a punch, but the instrumentals just jump out at you and attack you with this punishing noise. The guitar riffing goes in, the slams go right in, the bass kicks in, the drums. I mean, it's all there and it all kicks you in the face with just this powerful punch. So, guitar riffs. Guitar riffs on this album are pretty damn fantastic. Actually, along with the vocals on this album, I think the guitar riffs and the bass are actually what pretty much made this album for me and why I like it so much. But get into that in a minute. The guitar riffs on this album range from your average slam death metal to your old school style death metal to just like stuff you'd hear from Cannibal Corpse and Nile when they first came out, and just Eternal Darkness when they first came out. I mean, this band really does represent the new style of slam death metal that's been coming out for the past 3 years now. It's amazing. The riffs are just insane. The guitar riffs, when they're slams, to be honest, when the slams come in with the guitar, it's nothing you haven't heard before. It's nothing new to write home about, but the way that it's just made and powerful on this album, you really feel like the slams are hitting you with a punch when they first go in, because when the album starts, it goes into this mid-ish chug slam, and you think, oh, it's just going to be a mid-chug slam through the whole thing, and then they hit you with just the slam, the breakdown, whatever you want to call it. They hit you with the simple string chords and the harder ones, and then they just bring it up back again, and guitar riffs just go insane and wild all over the place. And then you also have the old style death metal riffs. You got the just where it breaks down into it. They'll stop for a second. You can hear the old style guitar riffs in the background, not only when they're doing the mid style chug slams, but when they are doing just everything. I mean, guitar riffs on this place, great. Bass. Bass on this album was a little bit hard for me to pick up, and I say that on a lot of albums, but death metal really does cover up the bass aspect of a lot of things. But the bass in this album wasn't really covered up to the point where I was like, oh god, I can't hear it, I don't know what to say. The bass is actually pretty good. The bass also does some old style riffs as well, but they more stay towards the more new style than anything else. You know, there's 2 guitar players and 1 bass. He basically follows the guitars at some points, and then he goes on and does what he does, and the bass sounds good. It's great. He keeps up with the guitars, he keeps up the vocals, and he gives it a lot more chunkier slams, if you ask me. Drums. Drums on this album, I'll be honest with you, there's nothing new to write home about here, but it's pretty damn good playing of the drums. It's great, it's fantastic, it's brutal. Not only is the drumming just ranging from the fast-paced style to the slow-paced style, and a lot of, you know, slam death metal bands that do, that's really the average style of drumming. There's a few trash can style drumming in here. The blast beats are insane. I mean, everything on this album, it's great, it's brutal, and the drums just make it even more, it gives it more of a catchiness. I think drummers are going to have no problem with this album whatsoever. And another thing on the vocals, a lot of people who play instruments often down vocals, you know, on death metal because, oh, you're just screaming. You know, not everybody, but a lot of people do. And actually a lot of bands I know get into fights about it. But, you know, a lot of people will see that it actually does take a lot of talent when you have good vocals to do. This guy has good vocals. As I said, they're all over the place. High screams, gutturals, mid-gutturals. The guitar riffs all over the place. I mean, everything about this album is punishing, in your face, and brutal as fuck. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. You should really pick this up. Whoretopsies, they did Unspeakable Things. You can get this on the Severed Records distro, and I'm sure you can pick it up on any other distro you can find if you Google it on the internet.